Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we will be exploring one of my favorite states to railfan, Pennsylvania, also known as the Keystone State. The main focus in this video is one of the busiest divisions on the Northeast. This is Norfolk Southern Harrisburg division that connects East Coast traffic to the west and to the south. We will be visiting some unknown hotspots on the Norfolk Southern in the eastern parts of the state. We are starting on the Pittsburgh Line, and we will head east, towards the Harrisburg Line and the Reading Line. We start the day just before 6 at Cove. We catch eastbound at some motor train 256, making his way to Croxton, New Jersey, basically going to where we came from. With priority mail packages coming from the west coast, heading to New York City to get delivered.
New York tonight.
Our next train is also headed to New Jersey. Empty trash train 62V coming from Mingo Junction, Ohio, with a trio of AC 44C6 arms. I have not been in this part of the state in a long time, so it feels good to be back trackside on the Norfolk Southern in Pennsylvania, one of my favorite states to railfan. Ever since my last visit, Norfolk Southern has been modernizing their fleet, with locomotives either getting scrapped, retired, or getting another life from DC to AC. The Dash 9 is a prime example. Ever since 2016, Norfolk Southern has rebuilt over 1,000 Dash 9s into the AC 4466 arms. In as 918 heading westbound to Altoona with a welded rail train. We move east to Maysville, Pennsylvania, at the famous Rockville Bridge that was built in 1902. It is the longest stone arch railroad viaduct ever built. It crosses the Susquehanna River here and is basically the start of the Pittsburgh Line. The train we see here crossing the bridge is 13R coming from Enola, Pennsylvania, heading to Linwood, North Carolina. This train just left Enola Yard and is making its way south. 10K passes the bridge, heading to Croxley, New Jersey, coming from Conway. Notes the unusual load, an MTA subway engine, HL022. Some nice rolling stock is on today's 10K. $25G just leaving out of Harrisburg, headed for Chicago, with a nice block of JB Hunt's containers. A light engine move heads to Enola Yard, an SD40E pulling an SD60E. Nice to see some classic EMDs over the new GE junk. We pass Enola Yard only to see more EMDs, and then we head for the Harrisburg Line. Our first stop on the Harrisburg Line is Paxton, Pennsylvania, just west of the Rutherford Intermodal Yard. The mid-DPUs pass by on train 28R, coming from Atlanta, Georgia, terminating in Rutherford. This is certainly one of the hottest trains on the system, connecting traffic from the south to the north. NS-288 follows 28R into Rutherford. This one is coming from Roseville, Tennessee. The train will eventually stop as the 2-mile-long 28R is taking up the whole yard. The spots is between Harrisburg and Rutherford. This train here is westbound 11K coming from Clarkson, New Jersey, headed to Conway, Pennsylvania. The counterparts of 10K we saw earlier at the Rockville Bridge. This train is also 2 miles long. Typical precision schedule railroading. Let's head east to the home of the chocolate, Hershey. This train is technically a turn job, running between Chicago and Harrisburg. This is 260 coming from Chicago. When the train gets to Harrisburg, it continues to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The train works Bethlehem and then heads back west to Harrisburg. An unusual sight on today's railroads is long code forward, something that was so common back then on the Norfolk Southern in the 1980s and 1990s. Let alone seeing a mainline intermodal train long code forward. I couldn't be happier. Train 33A follows 260 westbound, headed to Conway, coming from Abrams, Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. We are now in the town of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. This place has 11 crossings, so you can really hear some horn action. We catch two trains meeting here, 28X coming from Chicago, headed to Croxton, New Jersey, and 269 coming from Port Newark, New Jersey, headed to Chicago. I couldn't have thought of a better meet than this one. This is definitely one of my favorite places on the Harrisburg Line. It's all fun and games until places like this becomes a crowd zone and disappoints us rail fans when trains can't blow the horn. We catch another meet between trains 11N and 26X. 11N had a very enthusiastic conductor. We moved to the famous town of Richland, where you probably seen that one video of the two eastbound and some motor trains racing through here. Ah, lovely nostalgia. NS-26X originated off the BNSF, coming from Los Angeles. BNSF transferred the train to an NS in Chicago, and now NS is taking it to Croxton, New Jersey, with hot mail traffic from the southwest to the northeast. One of the hottest trains on the system, making the money. We are now at Temple, Pennsylvania, on the Red Line. NX Southern Railroad of New Jersey F7 sits here at Temple Station. It is now owned by Redden and Northern, and it has an unknown future. Hopefully it gets restored. The only train we see here at Temple is 31A coming from Allentown, Pennsylvania, heading to Enola with a crazy lash up. We will visit one last spot before calling it a day. Albertus, Pennsylvania, not far from Allentown. In Albertus, we will see two trains racing with a gorgeous sunset. More horseheads, but it's not on trains. This is train 23G headed to Chicago, Illinois, coming from Clarkson, New Jersey, with 8 locomotives. That may seem overkill, but it's most likely Chicago has a power shortage. Following closely behind the train is H44, a local from Allentown to Abrams. couldn't have gotten a better end to this amazing day in Pennsylvania. Like always when we come here, we get treated good. A beautiful sunset, a train race, an EMD trio, and Notch 8. It just couldn't get better than this. I hope you enjoyed this video of the Keystone States on the Norfolk Southern Harrisburg Division. Railfanning the state is never a disappointment. Hope you enjoyed this video of the Thoroughbreds and horseheads through the scenic suburban areas to the countryside. It's always a pleasure coming out here to watch trains. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and happy railfanning.